Fuck. Then got no more. What good thing I got this. So I'm gonna need it. You know, a lot of times when I sigh, that means I want a movie to die. Say goodbye. I'd rather get high. And I don't get high. But you watch movies like this, baby. Because the makers were high making this. So if they're high, maybe I should be high and enjoy it. I don't know. Or maybe people need to go back to cocaine. Maybe we'll get better movies. Because in the 80s, there were a lot of cocaine. And we had a lot of good movies. This is one of those movies where Strays, not the Timothy Busfield one from the 90s. Less said about Timothy Busfield right now, the better. If you know, you know. If you don't, look it up. But this is Strays from 2023. This is dogs cuss a lot and fuck a lot. And you see a lot of dog dick. If you want to see a lot of dog dick, which was not something I needed to see, but you see a lot of it in this movie, because that's how it goes. This is one of those movies that you take something cute, you make a lot of cuss words and fucking and dicks and dick jokes, and thus that must equal comedy. Sausage Party did it, where you had cartoon characters that were food or condiments, whatever, and there's a lot of sex jokes and shot jokes and dick jokes and coming fucking jokes. Happy Time Murders, remember with the puppets? Same thing. And now this with dogs. There'll be one with cats, I'm sure, and they'll just be called, I don't know, pussies. How about that? There's my idea, Hollywood. I'll sell it to you. Pussies. Cats. Cat scratch fever of cats just fucking and dicking, whatever else you do in these movies anyway, too. There you go. Pussies. Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx star. You also have Will Forte. Dennis Quaid makes one of the most random cameos I've ever seen in my life. He must have really needed the paycheck. Before I go on, the plot, the setup. Oh, by the way, the guy who directed this is Josh Greenbaum, who's doing Spaceballs 2. We in trouble. We in trouble. If the guy doing Spaceballs 2 is the guy who did this, we in trouble. We in trouble. Before I go on, the setup of this movie. And did I even do this? Thank you, Jonathan, for the request. I really do appreciate it. I might have forgotten about that. For anyone interested in requesting any type of movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. PayPal's the best way to do it. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to as soon as I possibly can. And thank you, Jonathan, for your kindness and your patience. I do appreciate it. For anyone who sent anything, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Links are down below. You feel free to request pretty much anything, and we'll go from there. But the setup is Will Ferrell is this very optimistic dog. Will Forte, who, if you remember that MacGyver parody, MacGruber, he was a star of that. He's been in other stuff. He's the owner of this dog, and he's terrible. He always tells us, shut the fuck up, leave me alone. He's an awful human being. But Will Ferrell's dog is too optimistic and too stupid to realize this. So even though the guy's girlfriend who liked the dog, she walks out, the guy kind of keeps the dog there. They try to keep her there, but it doesn't work out. And now he's always trying to find a way to get rid of this dog, but this dog doesn't get it. Eventually, later on, Will Forte leaves the dog in the city, abandons it. Will Ferrell is looking around, gets accosted by these bigger dogs, and Jamie Foxx, who's another small dog, scares the others away, acting crazy. Bonds with Will Ferrell's character. They bond with these two other dogs, bigger dogs. One, I forget the actress's name. Her first name is Isla. I think she was in the movie Wedding Crashers. She is a female dog that is really good sniffing at stuff. And then you have this other dog, voiced by Randall Park. If you remember the movie The Interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco, the one that got North Korea pissed because they had the leader of North Korea, Randall Park played the leader, North Korean leader, Kim Jong, He voices this dog who used to be a police dog, but now he's a therapy dog, and he always has his cone around his neck. So the four of them bond and hijinks ensue. They do X, Y, and Z reasons until eventually Will Ferrell kind of realizes how awful Will Forte was, and now is on a mission. I want to go back there and bite his dick off. And the other three are like, what? And then like, oh yeah, let's do it. And then homeward bound, but if there's a lot of dicks, piss jokes, shit jokes, and F-bombs. Now, I know there are people that find this funny, just like they found Sausage Party funny and etc., but to me, this was just more lazy than anything. There's only so many times that the dogs can say fuck that I find funny. That it just gets repetitive and it gets old and the shock wears off. Like maybe you could work like a skit on some kind of, or a short film in an anthology comedy movie, maybe. But for a full-length 90-some-minute film, it just gets a bit old quick. I really didn't find much funny in this. Just some of the humor and jokes in this. Early on when Will Ferrell's dog is with Will Forte, Will Forte's character likes to jerk off a lot. And Will Ferrell goes, he pets that a lot. The way he pets it, I wish I was a penis. That's your dialogue. Oh, he loves to play this new game with me called Fetch and Fuck, where he throws a ball very far away, I come back, and he says, fuck. Which is weird, because later on he says, I can't understand his words. So you can't understand his words, but you understand the word fuck. Like, the game is fetch and fuck. You heard and understood the word fuck. I mean, I guess you could say there's a difference between hearing it and understanding it, but when they're monologuing and talking in words we understand, it's weird to say, well, he doesn't understand those words, but he understood the word fuck, but they say fuck a lot. But he understands that, but then he says he doesn't understand his words. You're looking too deep into it. Yeah, I know, but still, you could be a bit consistent on this shit too, And God, there's a lot of juvenile jokes. Like most of the movie is that. Oh, one of the rules that Jamie Foxx says to Will Ferrell is, when you pee on something, it's yours. You pee on that post, now you own the lamppost. And when he's acting crazy to get the bigger dogs away from Will Ferrell. I was tough fucking a dead squirrel. And I'm so crazy I'm gonna fuck the trash. And his love is a couch that he says is the best sex in his life, and she's dirty too. He did. This is a dirty couch. The female dog at times likes to look at Randall Park's big dog's big dick. So every time he's kind of moving his body for the water, and then she's looking at the dick of the dog. I mean, I never knew I'd be seeing so much fucking dog dick that I never want to see. I never wanted to see one in my life to begin with. That's tenfold now. So it's one of those, hey, see the dog dick. There's literally a joke where they get into a fucking animal control and they're trying to get the dog's dick hard to grab the tease. So then the female dog is talking like, oh, you're going to do this to me and you're going to do that to me. And the dog, oh, well, that's really working. Then the gag is that, of course, the wide shot, it's nowhere near the tease. Tease have to be cartoonishly big, but you get to see a bit. You still get to see the dog dick coming out. See, this is probably most you don't hear me say dog dick in any review ever. This is a bestiality fanboy's wet dream come true. Someone who's into bestiality, they're gonna make this their favorite fucking film ever. I swear. They get to see a lot of humping. There's a bit where they're humping random items, like Jamie Foxx is humping a fake owl, and Will Ferrell's humping a gnome. So Jamie Foxx goes, "Say it's your daddy." "Oh, hello, gnome. I'm your father." Like, those are the jokes. That's the humor. I did it. Humor's subjective. Humor's subjective. I did it. But goddamn. And they're hanging out and random stuff. They get food that's dropped. Beer that's been thrown away. They all lap it up and get drunk. They're all pissing on the wall at the same time. Later, at one point, they're in the woods, and a bird carries Jamie Foxx, and then Will Ferrell grabs Jamie Foxx, and they're both being taken by this bird, and they swing, so they hit a tree, and they fall all the way down. And as they're falling down, Will Ferrell drops and sees 3 squirrels fucking, having a goddamn train, because I wanted to see a squirrel train. The human centipede of fucking squirrels. Well, I just wouldn't be that because it wasn't their mouths, but you know. Squirrel fucking and squirrel fucking and squirrel fucking. Because that's what I wanted to see. Love it. No, I don't. Jesus Christ, man. This is like someone wrote the script. Like, they just found out about sex. And they found out that dogs and animals have sex. They go, "This is the funniest thing ever. They have sex. And they piss and they poop. We didn't write the script. They poop here and they piss on each other." Yes, there's a moment where Will Ferrell says, "We should piss on each other." Huh? Oh, I know it's a weird... Yeah, let's do it. So they'd all get in a circle, and one pisses on the other, while one pisses on the other, while one pisses on the other, while one pisses on the other. And what is it Randall Park says? "It's not just warming my body, it's warming my heart too." Jesus Christ. You see in the trailer at one point they eat mushrooms, and one sees a cartoon dog and one sees a puppet dog. Jamie Foxx sees his couch dumping him for the bird that carried him before. I think Dennis Quaid has the most random fucking cameo because he's out bird watching, and apparently Dennis Quaid, he's playing himself, and apparently he's also an idiot in the movie because he's bird watching. He opens up a book like this, and everything says just bird, 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 bird. Not any type of bird, just bird, 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 bird. And he's like, "Yep, I saw a bird." Check mark on one called bird. When everything just says bird. Because apparently that's a joke. And then he's like, this is when the bird has Jamie Foxx and Will Ferrell's dogs. And Dennis Quaid's looked at him and goes, "That's the craziest shit I've seen." And Dennis Quaid has seen some crazy shit. So yeah, it's him playing himself. I hope it was a good paycheck, Quaid. I like Dennis Quaid, but God, like, just to be fair, is Dennis Quaid really in movies nowadays? So I guess if someone asks you to be part of a movie that goes in the theaters, you're going to say yes. Because again, no one's really casting Dennis Quaid nowadays, which is too bad because I think he's a good actor. Inner Space, even Vantage Point. I always liked Dennis Quaid, but anyway. Oh, and then while they ate mushrooms, I could see this coming too. I swear to God, I was able to fucking predict this. They find a toy rabbit and they're ripping it apart, and I'm like, I know what's gonna be. It's gonna be, and it was. They're not ripping up toys of rabbits, they're ripping up actual rabbits. So when they get out of their stupor, they realize, oh my God, we've killed and ripped apart a bunch of bunnies. So they bury the evidence. And that's where a police dog comes about. He knew Randall Park's character from back in the academy. They get put into animal control because they're strays. And then Will Ferrell gets the idea of all these dogs shit on the floor. So there's a montage of multiple dogs taking a shit. That goes on for way too long. So if you want to see a montage of dogs taking a shit, here's your sign. Here's your movie. It's sad that I would say I would rather watch Strays with Timothy Busfield. Which, if he did do what he did, he's a piece of shit. I'd rather watch that movie with cats than this movie. Because that movie was less annoying. It was boring, but it was less annoying. So everyone's shitting. And the human comes in, slips on the shit. All the dogs run out. They get into an argument because Will Ferrell still wants to hold out hope that maybe he was the bad dog and Will Forte was good, and Jamie Foxx gets pissed at him. Then they throw this random shit, or it felt random. I guess they built it up, but I barely remember it. Well, Jamie Foxx finds this lost girl who's a part of the Cub Scouts, and they help the girl get rescued, and then eventually they decide to follow Will Ferrell's character. Will Ferrell gets to Will Forte. Will Forte tries to kill him. The other three dogs get there. Randall Park takes off his cone. They all attack the guy. And to the tune of Wrecking Ball, "Came like a wrecking ball," they all hold Will Forte down while Will Ferrell bites his dick off. And then Randall Park, his character, takes a shit on the guy's face. You don't see it, but you get the idea. And then when Will Forte stumbles out, he's got shit on his face. That's the kind of movie this is. Why are you describing the plot? Describing the plot is describing what kind of stupid fucking movie this is. Just for the lowest common denominator of jokes. The only thing that was close to anything clever, the one thing that got kind of a chuckle out of me, one fucking joke. One joke. They're at a carnival, and Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx see another dog. And you know how you have some of those family-friendly dog films where you hear the dog narrating? One of them is narrating, and then Jamie Foxx is like, "Oh man, that's one of those narrator dogs. Hey, no one's listened to your lame human story, you fucking dumbass." And the dog looks at him and doesn't look back and keeps trying to narrate and, keeps doing it again and again. And then he narrates, "Yeah, no one listens to me. If they did, they would know that my owner is a serial killer. And like that whole thing was kind of clever, kind of funny, and that was the only thing I found clever and funny. Everything else was a dick joke, a piss joke, a shit joke, a dog dick joke. Saying I love saying fuck as well. But there's gotta be art to it just like everything else. And if you know me, some of my least favorite jokes are the piss, the dick, the fart jokes. There wasn't really fart jokes in this. But there's plenty of piss, dog dick, and dog poop jokes. So I guess that was more than efficient for them. And I mean like every 5 minutes, one of those type of jokes. One of those three. Every 5 minutes, there's a piss joke, a poo joke, or a dog dick joke, or dog fucking joke. Every 5 minutes, I swear. The only other positive thing I'll say, other than that one joke, is whoever did the training on the dogs did a good job. The dogs visually look cute. Them being trained, whether very early on, Will Ferrell's dog has to go up here and go through a window and get the ball, or at the end I go on the counter and go over here, and whatever digital manipulation they did for the safety of the dogs. For parts like when the bird picked them up, you can notice the CG, of course. But it was the training of the dogs. The trainers did their jobs well for what they had to do. And this film bombed. Because I know Sausage Party made a lot of money, but I don't know if a lot of people really... Like, you see trailers or you see stuff like the Happy Time Murders, which that did not do well, that bombed, or this film bombed. They go, okay, even if you think that gimmick is funny, I don't think it's going to be funny for 90 minutes. I think a lot of people feel that way, and then they don't see this film in the theater. I mean, if I look up the info, just so I don't get my facts screwed up. It had a $46 million budget. It made $24 million in the US. It made $12 million overseas. So it made $36 million worldwide on a $46 million budget. That's a bomb. And you don't hear a single person talk about this film. Has a 6.3 on IMDb, so there were people that liked it. Not me. I mean, I guess if you're really, really, really into those type of jokes and humor, this will be the movie for you. To me, a movie where I see a dog's dick more times than I see my own dick on a given day is not the movie for me. I mean, am I in Tijuana or something? Like, how many fucking animal dicks am I going to see? I prefer none. But yeah, voice-wise, Will Ferrell was nice Will Ferrell. You've seen nice Will Ferrell in a number of other films. Nothing different. I'm not even going to say he was bad. I'm not going to say he was bad. He was being Will Ferrell. And a lot of times I get annoyed by Will Ferrell. I wouldn't say I was annoyed by him. He was just a nice, optimistic version of Will Ferrell. He wasn't yelling, screaming like Elf. So he's more the tolerable Will Ferrell. But again, it's... You've seen that before, and so you've seen it before, you'll see it later. Jamie Foxx got attitude. He cusses a lot. He does bring energy to his voice performance. It's just the dialogue he's given has nothing really that clever or I thought funny. Is just be as vulgar as you can be. I mean, the other voices are fine. Will Forte, very, very cartoonish as a villain, but that's his purpose. Dennis Quaid, pointless cameo that I didn't even find that funny. I think Rob Riggle, who's been a lot of stuff, he was one of the voices. I think he might have been the police dog. Now, I can't think of any other recognizable people in the film. But yeah. That's pretty much it. Maybe if you're a huge fan of a film like Sausage Party, this will be the movie for you. It's not my kind of comedy. I mean, it's not that I'm against harsh language or jokes that are un-PC. Clerks. I looked at my Blu-ray Clerks. I love Clerks, but Clerks is smartly written. It's a fairly well-written movie. Richard Pryor, see no evil, hear no evil. He'll say fuck. But it didn't feel redundant, and when it was there, it hit securely and strongly, and they didn't. There's dirty jokes in Clerks, but it wasn't a dick joke every 5 minutes. And shit jokes and all those. There's a lot of dog dicks. I keep repeating because there's so much of it in this movie. And I'm like, this is the guy you did in the direct Spaceballs 2. Because Mel Brooks isn't directed because he's like 90 years old. Or 99 years old. Or something like that. I know he's over 90. So, God bless Mel Brooks. But Spaceballs 2 is a mistake. But they don't listen. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.